Hello, welcome back to the Honey Badger. I am Dr. Nefertiti Fox Defendino, but you can just call me Neff. Let's get into it. Let's see what this reading has to tell you. Do keep in mind this is a general reading, so not everything is going to sit with you. In fact, some of it may be for somebody else. So if it doesn't resonate, leave it behind for the next person and just take what does. So, what are we going into here today? Let's start with this deck. Fantastic. Ooh, walk away. All right. There's a situation we need to walk away from that we are still lingering on. In fact, this kind of actually goes along with the reading that I put up on Instagram. You can go check that out as of this video, of course. Otherwise, you'd have to go dig for it, depending on when you come to this reading. Of course, these readings are timeless. Just keep that in mind. But yes, we need to walk away from something. I'm feeling that is all out of that deck. Let's put that up here. But yes, walk away. Walk away. I'm going to read this card. It says, walk away from the situation. When we face a challenge or unhealthy situation, it can be hard to let go and move on. Absolutely. Sometimes we stay in the hope that someone else will change, or perhaps we are so fearful of the unknown that we remain in the safety of a known and yet toxic situation. This card validates your entitlement to leave. You are allowed to leave. Let's just be real. You are allowed to leave the situation. You have a right. You have a right to peace and happiness. You don't have to suffer. And I think that we kind of get caught up in the idea that if we don't suffer, then we didn't mean it, or, we didn't really experience something. We can't say that, we really got what it is that we needed out of it if we didn't suffer or whatever. Like, you didn't understand the situation, whatever. Whatever people are saying, it's not for them to say. You deserve peace. You don't have to deal with a toxic situation, toxic people. It's not necessary. Yes, there is a lot of wisdom that you can gain from certain situations, but you can still gain the wisdom out of it by seeing something for what it is and walking away from it. These two want to do something. Here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Mercurius, this one actually came out in a recent reading that I did as well. So this also talks about a tumultuous time. I mean, look at the fire, lava, whatever this looks like to you, just burning the forest in the background there. We need to walk away from something. Otherwise, we're going to burn down the entire forest. You know what I mean? We're going to burn bridges that don't need to be burned. We're going to essentially burn the chance to grow something. We're going to destroy all the good stuff, all the abundance. I mean, look at a forest. It's an abundance of everything. Flora, fauna, oxygen, water. It's all the things that we need to live life you can find in a forest. Why burn it all down? Nurture it. Help it to grow. Don't burn it down. Leave all that stuff behind. You are protected. Look at this card. You are protected. Look at those rainbows. Look at the colors too, man. Woo. Number 28. I feel that's important to somebody. I got 62, 23, 28. For those where numbers matter. But yeah, you are protected in this. This too kind of like speaks to me of like the Ace of Cups as well. When you walk away from this situation, from these people, whatever your situation may be that we're kind of holding on to, it could just be a memory as well. When you actually walk away from that, a whole brand new opportunity is going to come for you. Spirit can finally give to you what it is that they wanted to give to you, because now there's space. There is space enough to give you what it is you deserve and what it is that you desire. So it's time to move. It's time to go. It is time to move on to greener pastures. Leave that destruction behind. In fact, in looking at this, like, be the person that basically is the one that cuts off the pathway for this fire to keep moving. Be the one that digs that trench. Be the one that puts an end to that situation and walk away from it. It's not serving you or anybody. Yeah. Reflect. Take a good look at this card, because there's a lot of symbols here in symbology. A lot of animals too. But look at that wise old woman in there. There's wisdom to be had in reflecting on the situation, but we still need to put it down, walk away. Got freedom on the bottom of the deck there. And I feel that too. Like there's freedom once you walk away from something. All the heaviness is going to go away. I see a lot of faces in here. A lot of faces. And okay, if you can see this well, there's two heads there, but they're attached. They're facing different ways. It's almost like they're trying to separate themselves, or it's like two sides of a person. I feel like we're battling with two sides of ourselves, or two sides of somebody else that we care about. It's like we knew them as one person, but now we see them in a different light, and we're kind of battling the two. It's like, well, they're both. They are both of those things, but maybe they are not. Those things are not what you thought they were. Does that make sense? A lot of reflection is to be had. You've got the elder here, the crone. She's all about wisdom. In fact, the crone kind of reminds me more so of like the Queen of Swords. She knows like how to take a risk, a calculated one, because again, she's gained all the wisdom. She comes off as kind of cold, but she's not. It's just that she's very decisive. She knows what things are. She knows what this person is doing, and she doesn't put up with it. You know what I mean? She knows what it is, and she moves on. She handles it. So it's kind of the same thing. Reflect on past situations, gain all the wisdom out of it, and use that knowledge and that wisdom to move forward into other situations so that you don't end up in the same situation. Basically meaning recognize the patterns in situations so that you can move away from those things, because those particular patterns that we're stuck on, those are the ones that are holding us back. So why go from one situation to another situation that has the same pattern? We don't want to do that. So reflect on it, gain that wisdom, and move forward onto something else. The owl in here also represents wisdom. There are a lot of butterflies in here. There's a lot of transformation to be had. There's butterflies. We've got dragonflies in here. And pay attention to the small stuff too. Pay attention to the small things too. Because there are a lot of hidden patterns in things. And this isn't just in other people and the situations we've been in. This is also in yourself, by the way. You also have patterns. It's time to move away from those patterns as well. But if you didn't notice, look at this little girl down here. They are one and the same. Nurture that little girl inside yourself, male or female. Nurture that young child in yourself, the one that felt that their needs weren't met in some way. Nurture them. Give them what you needed then. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. Love yourself. Absolutely love yourself. This is important. Because when we start to wait for other people to love us, we get disappointed real quick. There's a lot of disappointment in that. Love yourself in the way that you felt you needed to be loved. Because if you didn't get it then, you still need it now. So love yourself the way that you needed to be loved then. Give that inner child what it needed, so that inner child can give you what you need now, which is playful opportunity, joy. Man, little kids are filled with joy and imagination, creativity. They can help you see things in a completely different manner. They can give you a completely different perspective on stuff. Children see the world the way that it is, but they also see it through a world of magic and imagination. We've all had some child tell us what it is. We think they're rude, but they're not. They're just being honest. They're just being honest. And that's another thing. Honesty. My gosh. Honesty is necessary in such a transformation. You can't hope to transform something if you're lying to yourself about it, denying things. We can't hope to change things if we're constantly in denial. It doesn't work like that. Look. The internal child. Can't make this shit up. Can't make this up, my guy. The eternal child. Pay attention to this child. This inner child. My gosh. They have something to tell you. They want to work with you, not against you. They're feeling a bit left behind, left out in the cold. You're treating them the way that others treated you when you were that age. Hello. Let's not go into my teacup. Three of Pentacles. We've got Strength. We've got the Five of Wands. And we have the Empress. Absolutely. Again, the Empress. Nurture that inner child. Okay? Give that child everything that child needs. Be the protector of that inner child too, by the way. Protect your inner child. Protect that inner child as you would protect your own physical child. Whether you have one or not doesn't matter. That's not the point. Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is working with. So again, it's like working with your inner child to create something that is fruitful, something that is abundant, something that brings abundance. These wolves don't look threatening to this stag. They're all dealing with snow. They're all dealing with winter. And that's something to remember too. Like, when people treat us in a negative way, they're kind of outside themselves because they're in survival mode too. And this is how they choose to act and react. Because when you're in survival mode, you're more so in reaction. You don't respond to things, you react. And this is just the way that they do that. We've all been in the winter season. We've all been cold to someone. We've all been shut down, silent, just bare bones. We've all been in survival at some point. It's not fun. I feel it is a necessary thing for us to go through because it gives us contrast to that abundance when it comes through. We have, there's a greater sense of joy. There's a greater sense of like gratefulness for the things that we have an abundance of. And I can guarantee that you are in abundance of something right now, but you're not seeing it. And you're probably looking around at your physical space. What do I have an abundance of? My bank account certainly doesn't look abundant. But you are in abundance of wisdom and knowledge. You are in abundance of life experience. You are in abundance of growth because tough situations are what help you grow even faster. So you are in abundance. And you could have an abundance of love for yourself, an abundance of life and all the things that it has to throw your way. Good and bad, right? But you're in abundance of something or some things, multiple things. Choose to look at that. Work with spirit, your spirit team, spirit guides, angels, whoever it is that you work with, pray to, work with them. And decide to be a recipient of the things that they send to you, regardless of what that is, right? You've got the strength to do it. You have the strength to do it. Your emotions might get in the way just a little bit, but for every bit of adversity is just more strength in your emotional state. It's more strength in your mental state. As I say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Absolutely, man. That is true. But the Five of Wands. Take all that adversity and build something with it. Choose a different perspective than the one that you are in right now. Because the one that you are in currently, whoever I'm talking to, it is not helpful. You are hindering yourself more than you are helping. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, the awakening. Awareness is the first act of transformation. We need to become aware of our own patterns, like I was talking about in the beginning here. Be aware of the patterns. Be aware of the headspace that you're in. Be aware of your emotional state and how it fluctuates. Be more aware of the moments in which we react and not respond. There is a difference. And for those who don't know the difference, a reaction is something that is instantaneous. It's spontaneous. It happens without us really having any control over it. But a response, when you are in response, you take the time to think about what you're going to say or what it is that you're going to do, because you are then contemplating what the best course of action is. That is a response. I got a lot of cards coming out here. Homecoming. Yeah, welcome every part of yourself home. Love every single part of yourself. Love that inner child. Love them. Yeah, rejected self. The parts you reject, seek your love. Again, maybe the parts of you that were rejected in childhood, love them. Love them. Just because someone else didn't love them doesn't mean that they're unlovable. It just means that they were not in a space where they could give what you needed and what you deserved. Because, again, those who treat us that way are also in survival. And this is how they're choosing to cope. It has nothing to do with you. Release, let go of needing to be right. There's that also. You don't need to be right in this situation. You don't need them to understand. You just don't. You need to understand for yourself and then move on with that. You don't need to explain yourself. The mask, every mask has a reason. Yeah. Every mask has a reason. Every way that we choose to handle a situation, there's a reason for why we're handling it that way. Again, maybe you're a different person around your family than you are your friends. Why is that? Why do we wear a mask? Chances are you're wearing a mask around your family and not your friends. But it could also be the other way around. We want to be likable. So we wear a mask that we think other people are going to like. I've done this a lot in my life, and I still kind of do here and there, of course, especially like at work. We all wear a mask when we go to work because we have to, be professional. But, wearing a mask to be likable, seeing traits of other people and embodying them while we're around them because that's who they are. And therefore, the way that they joke about things or the way that they say stuff, we start doing the same thing as them so that they feel comfortable with us. But you also have to be careful of that because not everybody likes themselves. So when you start acting like somebody else, you are actually showing them parts of themselves that they don't like. So that could also be why others maybe don't enjoy being around you, but that's only some people. So keep that in mind. You bring out the parts of them that they don't like. So that does happen. Yeah. This reading is all about walking away from that survival, walking away from that situation that we keep mulling over in our brain, and just reflecting on the lesson that it taught us and taking that to the next phase of life, And that next phase of life, I feel, is going to be nurturing that inner child, being that mother to that inner child, regardless of your gender, doesn't matter. Let's say your mother didn't treat you the way that you feel a child should be treated. You weren't loved enough. Great. Well, what do you see that a mother should be? Be that to yourself. When you're sick, do something for yourself that helps you feel better. Just like a mother would make, I don't know, soup for their child so that they feel better. Make sure that they get enough sleep. All these things. Make sure that you're actually nurturing yourself. Make sure that you take care of your body, your mental state, your emotional state. When you mess up, we messed up, it's okay. We learned something though. So let's focus on what we learned rather than the part that we messed up. It's good to understand how we messed up so that we can change things. Absolutely. But it's like just being kind to yourself. When you slip back into survival mode, which if you're trying to get out of survival mode, you're often going to slip back into it. That happens. Like there's no way about that. It takes time to get out of survival mode, especially if you've been in it for a long period of time. You're going to fall back into it. It's okay, but it's recognizing what caused you to fall back into it because there's a pattern there, right? We talked about there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. But let it go. Leave it in the past where it belongs. Take what you understand of that situation, such as how you feel, and pay attention to how it made you feel and work with that. It made me feel like this because of that. Great. That's your inner child telling you how they're hurt. So start doing for them what you feel should have been done to avoid that. Just do it for yourself. Don't wait for someone else to give you an okay. Don't wait for someone else to tell you that you're a likable, lovable person. You are. You just have to believe it yourself. Spirit's got your back in this process. They always do, by the way. They're not going to interfere in your life. They're not going to do things for you, I should say. You have to ask them for help. Like, you have to give them permission to intervene. So if you need help in a situation, like I'm having a hard time letting this go, ask them to help you let it go. Now, they may give you certain situations that are very similar. But what it is that they're doing at this point, putting you in, the same situation, a very similar situation, is giving you a chance to respond differently. In order to let go of something, we have to get used to doing things in a different way. So they may put you in those situations to give you the chance to do differently. Now, they may also bring somebody into your life that it could just be, I don't know, something you overhear in conversation that really hits home that you needed to hear to help you move forward. It could be someone that they place in your life that kind of helps guide you a little bit. Again, kind of shows you how to nurture yourself, shows you how to be kind to yourself, because they are that to themselves, or they do that to other people, right? Maybe that person is nurturing to you. Take notes. Take notes on what it is that they're doing for you and start doing it for yourself, right? They're going to help you figure out a way to move beyond something by allowing you to see a different perspective through someone else, or allow you the hands-on experience of doing something completely different. And here's the thing. Sometimes we just start doing things the way that we always have, but the second you recognize that you're doing it in the old way, immediately flip it. Immediately turn it around. It's actually okay to do that. It's okay to catch yourself doing something that is unfavorable. Go, oop, I am doing it again. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I take back everything I just said, everything I just did. Let me do it different. This isn't how I want to go about this. It is literally okay to do that. In fact, I was in conversation with a friend of mine here recently. And as I'm explaining to her what Spirit had shown to me as something that I can do for myself, something I can put on here, won't talk about that until I actually do it. But I started explaining that I didn't feel like what I had, like the tools I had, were enough. But I caught myself mid-sentence. I'm like, what do you mean this isn't enough? This is literally what you need. Why are you complaining that this isn't the thing you need? You have the thing you need. Just use what you got. There's no such thing as not good enough. It is literally your intention and how it is that you use the thing. It doesn't have to be this large, elaborate thing. You have the tools, just do it. And I caught myself because I am so used to being in a pessimistic state. I just am. I hate to say that, but, I'm used to thinking in a pessimistic manner, like what I have isn't enough, or, my abilities aren't enough. I can't connect enough. It's never enough. But I caught myself mid-sentence and literally said, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I have the tools. You have the tools. So remember that when you start fighting yourself. You are enough. You have enough. Don't feel like you aren't. You are. And it's really important to remember that. It really is. You've got the strength, you've got the power to move beyond this. Regardless of how long it takes, do not pay attention to time. Time is irrelevant. Time is a construct anyway. Time is not linear. It's more of a spiral. We always tend to come back to the same thing over and over again, and we're going to keep seeing those things. And every time we see it, we change how we respond to it. And therefore, it ends up with a completely different meaning by the end of it. So, You guys got this. You can move beyond this. And once you do, the second you decide that you're going to move beyond it is when things really start to move forward a lot quicker. You're going to find favorable situations. You're going to find opportunities that you didn't realize were even available to you. Maybe they've been available to you this whole time. You just didn't see it because you couldn't get past this part. Maybe you don't feel like you're enough. Maybe you don't feel like you're good enough. You are. You are. And I guarantee you've got the experience to take those opportunities. They wouldn't be there for you if you didn't have what it took. And who knows, even if one opportunity didn't work out, it was there for you to gain information so that you can move on to the next one. Think more optimistically in this particular scenario here. So, with that, guys, I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse here. I think you got the message. Like and subscribe, comment down below if you feel open to explaining what you're struggling with. Maybe those here in the community can help you see a different perspective. Maybe there's someone there that is meant to show you something different. Who knows? Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.